Hey everyone, welcome back to Slipstream Central. I am your personal race engineer for anything and everything F1, ThatKidVic. And as you can see, I'm finally back. Now, I was in Los Ranchos visiting my grandparents for a week, and it was very, very beautiful down there. I will show y'all some pictures that me and my family took. But yeah. Now, I know. I missed this weekend in Silverstone. I wasn't able to do race predictions, recaps, stuff like that. But I am going to go over, news that has been circulating recently, as well as a full weekend recap with qualifying results a race recap. Make sure you stay tuned so you don't miss a thing. Now, like I just said, I was gone for a week because I was in Mexico, in Los Ranchos specifically. It was, like I said, very, very beautiful. There was barely, no pollution, great scenery, mountains everywhere. Yeah, it was very beautiful. It was very humbling, though, in a way, because there was no, cell service because we were pretty much in the middle of nowhere. So there wasn't great cell service, so, kind of had to just, hang out with family, which, I would have done anyways, but, I'm just saying. But yeah, anyways, here are those pictures that me and my family took. I hope y'all like them, and, maybe you'll want to visit. So, let's go over this weekend in Silverstone. Now, I know, I'm a little bit late to this, but there were just so many surprises and it was so exciting to watch that I'm going over it anyway. So, let's start off with, qualifying, obviously. P1, Max Verstappen, beating out Oscar Piastri behind him by pretty much a tenth, give or take a few thousandths. Yeah, just stellar lap from Max. Yeah, just great for him, Great ego booster as well, I must add. In P3 was Lando Norris, the first Brit on the grid, trying to, get his first win here at Silverstone, his home track. I will talk about his race result later, as I will with, everybody else pretty much. But yeah, P3 for Lando. Now, behind him was the second Brit on the grid, George Russell. Now, for me, that's honestly kind of where you would expect George to be, like P3, P4, P5, around there. Yes, he's had some unfortunate and just bad qualifying results, but, who hasn't? Obviously in the Formula One, races, not, but yeah. Behind him was the third Brit, 1, 2, 3, of Hamilton, trying to keep his 11-year streak of being on the podium here in Silverstone alive. Yeah, what more can I say? The Ferraris have improved, before at the start of the season, they would be 7th, 8th, 9th, around there. And yeah, but with the upgrades and the improvements they've brought, that's, kind of where you'd expect them. Now, behind Hamilton was his new teammate, Charles Leclerc. And, as I just said, the Ferraris have improved, so yeah. Behind Charles in P7 was the youngster in Kimi Antonelli. Pretty average result for him, to be honest. I mean, with the pace and qualifying results that he's shown this year, he's actually pretty good with getting P7, P6, P8, those positions. So yeah. In P8, which honestly for me was a shocker, the Haas of Oliver Behrman. First off, he's a rookie, just starting out the season, and then second, he's in a Haas. great for him. Yeah, In P9 was another rookie, 3 rookies back to back in Fernando Alonso. Now I know he's not an actual rookie, but it's the joke. It's the joke. And yeah, he honestly, that Aston Martin hasn't been very, very fast this season. Just look at his qualifying results. I don't know, he just hasn't been doing that great. So yeah, P9 is pretty good. And then in P10, dragging his tractor of an Alpine up there into Q3, Pierre Gasly. Now, I know, I said tractor, yes. They haven't been super, super great. I mean, yes, they've had top 10, they've had points finishes, I want to say pretty consistently, but they've been kind of low points, and yeah, so good on him though for dragging that Alpine up into P10. Alrighty, now let's get into the actual race, which was very, very exciting to watch. Yeah, there were 5 whole retirements, being Franco Colapinto, Liam Lawson, Gabriel Bortoleto, Isaac Hadjar, and Kimi Antonelli. Now, 4 out of the 5 of those, being Gabriel Bortoleto, Isaac Hadjar, Kimi Antonelli, and Liam Lawson, were all because of crashes. Now, it was just dangerous. It was pretty wet. Gabriel's crash was because he was on slick tires in damp-ish conditions. But yeah, here are those crashes, so you can see what happened, and disclaimer though, nobody was harmed. YouTube, they're all good and safe. And yeah. Each of those crashes had brought out their own VSC or full safety car. It was just chaos, absolute chaos. Now, the rain didn't actually start until lap 11, but when it did start, it came pouring down. Now, I say that it didn't start until lap 11, but it had rained before the race, so the track was still a little wet. Which, everybody should have been on inters. I say should have because George Russell, Charles Leclerc, Oliver Bearman, Bortoleto all went into the pits for slick tires. Now, I didn't get it. I still don't get it. I mean, you lose track position, your tires are cold because you just put them on, and then, it's still kind of wet, so it just adds to the grip deficit. Now, it just, I don't get it. Now, on lap 21, skipping ahead a little bit, on lap 21, when the safety car was coming in after Isaac Hadjar's crash, Oscar Piastri decided to step on the throttle, as if he was actually going, and then just slammed on the brakes, which, Max was right behind him, so he had to take avoiding action to the right, and, because of the fact that Oscar was just so heavy on the brakes, Max obviously went by. Now, thankfully, Max didn't get a penalty, but Oscar did. He got 10 seconds for driving erratically under safety car conditions. Now, he didn't think, him and McLaren both thought that 10 seconds was too harsh. But then again, if Max hadn't seen him, because, there was spray, everything like that, if Max hadn't seen him, it would have been pretty bad for both Max and Oscar. obviously they would have crashed. They both would have been out, but yeah, I mean, so I feel like 10 seconds was pretty reasonable. Now, right after that, coming out of Stoke Corner, Max had spun. I mean, obviously he was a little bit rattled because of what Oscar did, but yeah, that the spin actually ended up putting him down into 10th place. You know, he was a little bit mad, obviously, but he did manage to get it back up into 5th. Now, speaking of results, let's go over those. So, because of that 10-second penalty that Oscar had to serve, Lando Norris actually got first, winning his first home race of his career. You know, good for him, great for him actually. It's always something special to win your home race of any. If any, your home race is the most important. And, you know, as I just said, because of his 10-second penalty, Oscar Piastri was second. You know, just I feel like it was reasonable for 10 seconds. Obviously, you know, the team didn't think so. Oscar was pretty mad about it, actually. First time, you know, you see or hear Oscar, like, you know, upset about something. Now, P3, that pretty much overshadowed everything, overshadowed Lando's win, just everything in general. After 15 years, pretty much over 230 races in his career, Nico Hülkenberg finally got a podium. You know, absolutely congrats to him. Very shocking. I mean, he's in a Sauber, so, you know. But yeah, great for him. 15 years in the making. Just, great. Now, because of that, he actually broke Hamilton's streak of, you know, being in the podium for 11 years. Now, Hamilton did finish in 4th, but yeah, you know, the streak is still broken. So yeah, in P5, like I just said, was Max Verstappen, you know. But then again, that's just Max being Max, you know, going from pretty much from 2nd to 10th, but then finally being able to get it back up into 5th. Now 6th was actually Pierre Gasly, just overtaking Lance Stroll on the last lap coming out of Stoke Corner. It was a beautiful overtake, you know, nothing, no argy-bargy, no contact, no nothing. It was just beautiful overtake around the outside. Now, P7 was, surprisingly, Lance Stroll, actually. You know, great for him. He doesn't really get a whole lot of points. You know, he's not really the lead Aston Martin as much as Fernando is. So yeah. In P8 was the man who started 14th, Alexander Albon. Now, you know, I honestly didn't see that coming at all. You know, I mean, he was P14, but then again, I mean, Hülkenberg climbed from P19 all the way to P3, so I feel like anything was possible at that race. And yeah, now P9, right where he started, I mean, he went down, but then finally got back up into 9th. Fernando Alonso. Now, I mean, he definitely was not happy during the race. I mean, the team had some, let's say, not quite, not good calls when it came to strategy. So, yeah. In P10 was actually George Russell. I mean, he started P4. So, and then going all the way down into 10th, only getting a single point, you know. At his home race too, you know. Kind of got to feel bad for him a little bit. but yeah, I mean, it wasn't the worst race ever for him. He still did get 1 point, but yeah, kind of feel bad for him. Well, that's actually gonna do it for today's video. It's good to be back. I hope y'all enjoyed, and if you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification to all so you don't miss a single one of my videos. Now, as always, I'm your personal race engineer for anything and everything F1, ThatKidVic, signing off for today.